Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
You guys had a lot of good questions in regards to Basel, so I want to make sure that I respond to them. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. All right, I did this video right here, IQD and Basel III. So let's go down to your comments and respond to them. Thank you, Pimpy. You're very welcome. Always level-headed, balanced extrapolation, Pimpy. I appreciate the kind words. Hey, Pimpy, I asked Militia Man a couple of days ago and never got a reply. I was hoping you could shed some light on this subject for me. He keeps saying that Iraq cannot sustain their economic and monetary reforms on a program rate of 1,310 dinars to $1 US. I asked him then, how has Vietnam continued to sustain themselves as part of the World Trade Organization with their economic growth and stability? Global leaders in manufacturing and technology continue building their infrastructure, and they were the only country that was the least affected by the global pandemic, and yet they've been doing it at a much lower rate. Obviously, if Vietnam could continue to be a global leader at their rate, I'm pretty sure that Iraq will be able to do the same with a mere 1,310 dinars to one. I hate to say that, but isn't this true? That's factual. Here's Vietnam in the World Trade Organization. Look at Vietnam became the 150th member of the World Trade Organization back in 2007. So they have been a member since 2007 with that same icky exchange rate. Not only that, you can see that Vietnam is currently trading on the Forex. Here's all their currency pairs. In addition to that, Vietnam is on the SWIFT system. Here are all the different SWIFT codes for all the banks that are active. It says below are SWIFT codes for all banks in Vietnam. Only active SWIFT codes are shown. When you try to look up Iraq, there is no Iraq because they're not on a SWIFT system. So you have Vietnam with a way worse exchange rate than Iraq. A way worse exchange rate. They are part of the World Trade Organization. They are on the SWIFT system. And they're trading on the Forex. So when people keep going, oh, there's no way they could do this. That's not true. Telling people that there's no way they could be part of the World Trade Organization, that there's no way they could be on the Forex, that there's no way for them to be on a SWIFT system with the exchange rate that they currently have is a lie. It's just false. And using Vietnam is a perfect example of that. If Vietnam is there with their current exchange rate, then there's no doubt that with the exchange rate Iraq currently has, they can be on these programs as well. Could Iraq change their exchange rate before this happens? Of course they could. But to tell people there's no way, it's not possible, they can't do this, is false. This other thing I keep hearing them say, which is kind of weird, that Iraq is going to save the financial system. How are they going to save the world financial system? So yeah, some people have a habit of, indulging. I love all the research you do, Pimpy, to help explain the different situations and how they twist it slightly to appease the masses. I appreciate you saying that, but that's exactly what they do. Look, we all want the same thing. I'm telling you, we do. Would I love for the rate to change to $3.22 per dinar? Would I love for them to keep the current currency that they have without deleting the zero when they change that exchange rate? Of course I would. But I'm saying to you, there are many possibilities that you should at least be aware of them. I'm not saying that it's going to happen one way or another for sure. I'm just saying to you, there's some things out there that they're hiding from you, either because they don't know it or they choose to hide it from you. And I'm not going to do that. Bronx. Okay, so tell us all, intelligent Pimpy, how do you know the article you're reading is the truth? I couldn't resist. Well, a couple of things. One, I show you the article up on the screen. Two, I won't just count on one source. I usually read several and just pick one. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can just look it up yourself. As a matter of fact, you should listen to content creators, hear what they have to say, and then validate it yourself. I get a lot of you don't have the time to do that, but at least it gives you an idea what direction you should be researching in. So this way you can see who is full of crap and who isn't. Come on, Pimpy, drive it home. Cute, no slack. They don't deserve it. They're not listening. Let me just put it this way. I would say the vast majority, about 98% of my listeners understand what I'm trying to say. Doesn't mean you like it. It just means that you understand what I'm saying. Those other people, they suffer from cognitive dissonance. They believe that it's going to happen this way no matter what. And then you have somebody like me come along going, yeah, that's a possibility, but there are other possibilities you should be aware of. And they get all pissy about it. See, as I do my videos, I have to constantly remind people that this is another possibility. This could possibly happen. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying there's a possibility it could. Good, bad, or ugly, I want to bring the truth to you as much as possible. Rip Van Winkle is back, LOL. Hi, Pimpy. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Welcome back. Hi, Pete. Hope you're able to get the carpet shampooed per Carl. Yeah, Carl was talking about, I was talking to him on the phone, and I'm pretty patient about a lot of things, but certain things I don't have a lot of patience for. If you are a store and I ask you where something is, it's one thing if an employee is new and they don't know where it is. I get that. But if I ask multiple employees and they tell me multiple different locations, I lose my cool real quick. I get snappy about it, especially when I get there only to find out that the thing that I need is no longer available in the store. That just sucks. So it's not so much that I'm mad at the individual as much as I'm mad at the situation. So Carl heard me snapping at people a little bit. Yeah, that was embarrassing, but I did get the piece that I needed, but then, believe it or not, the shampooer caught on fire. So it did. The little motor burnt. And I was like, what the hell just happened? So Bristle is the one that I got, and I called their headquarters. Forget going to the store. I called their headquarters. They're going to replace it. So they told me to send the old one. I sent it to them. They're going to send me a new one. That's what you hope for when it comes to customer service with the company. And they're saying, no problem. Send it back. We'll take care of it. Good points, Pimp. But it will help their economy and the value of the dinar. I think people just focus on that, and the rest becomes cloudy and goes over their heads, and they miss it because of excitement of how they just see on the surface that it will help the country and its value, which it does. It's all good. So, Jonathan, just so you're aware, yeah, of course it's going to help the country, but helping the country doesn't necessarily translate into helping you. You see, you're going to be increasing the purchasing power of the Iraqi people. I was listening to this preacher. He was playing all these different prophets, and one of these prophets said some stuff that the people didn't like. She said, I'm speaking about the Iraqi dinar. She said, the prophet, what I've seen is this. The Iraqi people will rejoice because their purchasing power will increase. The people in the West won't even get a taste. And I was thinking to myself, how could that be possible? Well, how could that be possible? Is if they delete the zeros off and then change the exchange rate. The purchasing power in Iraq would change, but for all of us sitting around going, I'm going to get millions of dollars, no. If they delete the zeros, then change the value, then you're not going to get millions of dollars. This is a possibility, people. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I can understand what that lady is saying. I don't know if it's a real prophecy or not. If you think about it, the current Iraqi dinar of 25,000 dinar, they delete the zeros off, now becomes 25 dinar. And then all of a sudden they change the exchange rate from where it is to 322 per dinar. This is good for the Iraqi people. Their purchasing power has changed. They can get a lot more things bought with their money. But that doesn't help us because they lopped the zeros off and now they gave an increase in the exchange rate. So instead of getting a 322 rate against a 25,000 dinar, we're only going to get that 322 rate against a 25 dinar. So instead of getting millions, you get thousands, which is a big difference. So yeah, I just tell people, look, at least be aware that that's possible. Pimpy, you should sell merch that has IQD 1310 on it and send MM a hat. I got a better hat for them. Actually, I guess a better merch. I did sell merch, just so you guys are aware. But I didn't push it all that much. I don't want to make a big deal about it, but I do have that available. As a matter of fact, I love these. Look at these shoes. Yeah, they're badass. Then you had these shirts. Then you had the hats. If I was going to send Militia Man anything, I'd send him a hat. But that would be funny. IQD 1310, I like it. Carl looks like a tan version of Mark Z. I would go out on a limb and say Carl's just a little bit thicker than Mark Z is. You're always bad new Kermit. Bad new Kermit? I think what you're trying to say is you're always bad news Kermit. I'm not bad news. I'm the honest one. It only comes across as bad news to you guys. A lot of you have been brainwashed into believing that you're all going to become millionaires overnight. And that might not be the case. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying there's a possibility it might not happen the way you think it is. Hey, Pimpy, one thing you're not understanding the way. Militia Man said they cannot do it in a 1310 budget. That's because the prices of everything has gone up. That's why it cannot be feasible. And there's not going to be that big of a swing to the cost of goods. Then you're talking about inflation, which we don't want it to go up. So when they set their budget, cost of everything's already baked in the cake. All these things are already taken in consideration. You would have to see a huge jump in inflation in order for them to make an adjustment to the budget from the 1,310 dinars per dollar. So even if the prices go up, that isn't going to change the exchange rate unless it's something super, super dramatic. US dollar dying, increase coming. Increase in what? I wish you guys would reread your comments before you post them. This way you could tweak them. I need more details. I'm not sure where you're coming. Are you talking about the dollar increase in value or the Iraqi dinar increase in value? Any typical person would be nervous about being exposed, but the crew must feel pretty confident by the level of stupor they have their audience in. Yeah, there you go. Cognitive dissonance is strong. There you go, 100%. You know, it's not like I'm sitting around here wanting to pee in people's Wheaties in the morning. That's not what I'm trying to do. We all want the same thing. What I'm trying to, once again, explain to people is, I know these are what people are telling you out there. Oh, it's definitely going to be this. We're all going to be millionaires. We'll be in Vegas snorting coke off hookers' asses and stuff like that. It's like, no, no, because there are other possibilities. And you should at least, at the very minimum, be aware of them. That doesn't mean it's going to happen this way. It doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. I'm just saying here is all the different avenues and possibilities that you should consider. So that when the change happens to the IQD, we don't got thousands of people killing themselves because they believe the crap that the content creator told them about becoming millionaires. And then you find out you only got like, what, $2,000 worth of dinars instead of $2 million? Yeah, I'd be pretty upset too. But that's the thing about going in and doing the research and being honest with you guys, so that if it doesn't happen the way you expect it, you won't be surprised. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you'll be bummed. I'll be bummed. And I know all the different possibilities. I'd still be bummed, but at least we're aware of it. Anyways, that's it for now. I appreciate you guys chiming in. I'll catch you later. I'm out.